Okay, here we are in part 2 of the banana liquid RPD tutorial thing. In this one, I'm going to be showing you guys kind of how to light and shade this guy. So we left off here. We've got our simulation. We've switched out the low res banana for the high res one. So let's drop down to null, and we'll just call this out bananas. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is let's set up a speed attribute so we can shade this. And actually, I want to adjust my viewport here. So if I go to optimize, I don't want to see these gray boxes back here. So I want to just increase this until that goes away, because I don't like that. Okay, it's a little less optimized, but I can kind of see what I'm doing a little better. So I want to use the velocity of these guys to shade them. So basically the faster moving ones are going to have a different color than the slower moving ones. And the way you got to do that, so if you see down here, velocity is a 3 float attribute or a vector. And it's kind of hard to use that for color. We need it to be 1 float. So what we're going to do is we're going to put down a wrangle. And don't worry, this is like this most simple piece of code. So we're going to make an attribute, a float attribute called speed. And it's going to be equal to the length of the velocity. So basically you're measuring the length of the velocity vectors and turning it into a float. Okay, and then we put down a color node just to visualize this. And we can go ramp from attribute, and the attribute we want is speed. Okay, there we go. So, and if we go to our little geo spreadsheet here, go to speed, and we can click to toggle this up and down to see like what our maximum and minimum speed is. It looks like the maximum is about 0.65 and the minimum is obviously 0. So let's put this to like 0.7, like that. So you can really get the tops there. So then if I click play, you can see this is working. Cool, and I can change this to whatever color I want. I'm gonna be doing this in Redshift anyway. So, and you can kind of toggle this down and up to get a better look. Cool. So this is just for the viewport, but yeah, okay, so we got that. So let's set up a camera first. Let's put down a null and then put down a camera like this and jump into our camera here. Ooh. Let's zoom out a bit by pulling back here. And then let's rotate this guy like this. So it's kind of looking down at it. And I'm going to pull this guy out more. Let's just find a nice angle here. I want to be kind of tight in on this, and I'm going to put some shallow depth of field so you really see, so it kind of feels, I don't know, better. Let's see. Maybe lower this. And maybe, let's see, let's go to the view. Let's put this to like 60. I'm just kind of playing around here. I don't really know exactly where I want to go with this, but let's see. Let's find a nice angle. Okay, so for now, I'll leave it like this for now because we can animate the camera later. But, oh, shit. Just want to get like that. Let's maybe bring this back a bit. Let's find a nice frame. Cool, okay, so we got that. Okay, so let's put down a dome light, and this is just, I'm just kind of picking something random right now just to have some lighting to so I can see what I'm doing. So let's just go into HDRIs, and let's do I don't know, modern industrial from Grayscale Gorilla, and just grab like something. Let's try, I don't know, how about this one? Cool. Okay, let's fire up the Redshift render viewer, see what we get. Okay, so I made a rookie mistake and crashed Houdini. So something that we're going to need to do is go onto our geo node that contains our simulation, and you want to go to the Redshift object tag and go to instancing and make sure you enable instance SOP level packed primitives. Otherwise, you're probably going to crash your computer because there's like a million of these things. So for now, we're just using a copy to points with instancing turned on, and that's good enough for now. If we had a lot more of these, we could use Redshift instances, but I don't think that we need that right now. I think this is just fine the way it is. So let's go Redshift, open render view. There, way faster, no crashing. Okay, so we've got our scene here. Let me go to my camera, go to optical, change this to filmic. I always like this better. Can you reduce the exposure a bit? I think it looks better that way. And then the light, let's just kind of move this around until we find a nice angle. Nope, definitely not that. You know what? I don't really like this light actually. Let's try a different one. Let's do, let me do like Pro Studios, and let's try a few different setups here just to see what we can get. Let's try this one. What's that do? Nope. This one? That's kind of nice. How about this? So I'm probably going to be, okay, that's a little better, I think. Kind of position it. Ooh, I like that little hit of red that you get there. That's kind of nice. Let's move this down. And then I think I'm going to put like a key light too. So RS light. And let me move this here and just kind of come out of my camera. And let's grab this guy here. And let's move it, or rotate it. Maybe reduce the power. Let's make it like temperature. Let's make it a little warmer. Reduce the power to like 10. And then let's come over here. Just kind of try to position the light so that we get some nice, like a harsh key light off to the side that kind of lights these. Let's hit Y on the keyboard, bring that up. Bring this up a little bit. Just something to kind of backlight it. Oops, what am I doing here? Yeah, off to the side looks better. Okay, something like that for now is fine. We can adjust the lighting later. I just want to kind of get a nice setup so I can show you how to pull in your attributes and texture these. So now we want to go to our sim, and under the render tab, just type /matte/banana, okay, to create a material. And then we'll go to our material context here and put down RS material builder, and we'll call it banana. Okay, and let me just turn off the render view for now so I don't crash this on accident. And then this banana that I'm using came with textures. I got it off Megascans. You don't need to use bananas. You can use whatever you want. I'm just kind of showing you how I did this thing. But let me find the textures for that real quick. So that would be textures, Megascan. Oh, shit. Banana. Okay, and let's just highlight this, and then I can just pull in the albedo. I love that in Houdini, if you highlight this material and then you just like click and drag your textures over, so let me just grab, it like automatically hooks them up for you. So I can just grab this normal and just pull it in, and it like automatically creates this bump map and the normal and plugs it into the correct slot. In Cinema 4D, it doesn't do that. It fucking sucks. I don't know why Redshift works way better in Houdini, even though it's a Cinema 4D Maxon owned product. Doesn't make any sense to me, but I'm here for it because I use Houdini and not Cinema 4D. So, okay, we got the albedo, roughness, normal. That's pretty much all we're going to need for this. So let's fire this back up again. Those textures should be on there. They are not. Oh, okay. I know why. So let's go back to our object and let's set a quick mark here. So the texture should not be out here because these are instanced. So when you're instancing something, you need to put the texture before you instance them. So we'll put down a material here. And then we'll just paste that same path. And that should do it. Let's see. There we go. Okay, cool. So let's, this kind of looks weird. So let's go back to our material context and make sure this roughness is set to raw, as well as the normal set to raw. That's better. And then the bump map always comes in at a scale of 1. It should be like 0.01 or like it should be way smaller. And then the roughness, we can kind of adjust a little. Okay, so now that we have our, let's change this to sRGB. Now that we have our bananas actually textured in there, we probably need to increase the power of the light a little bit. I'm seeing that it's, let's go like 20, 40. Maybe this one too. Let's bring this up a little, just so we can see it better for now. Okay, cool. So we've got our banana texture. How do we bring in our speed attribute? Well, it's super simple. So we go back to the banana, just put down an RS point attribute and make sure that we put speed as the attribute we want. And then we can just hook this into the base color. It's not going to do anything until you refresh it. But now you can see we've got the black and white mask. So what I can do is I'll put down a color mix. And let's put this one, the first one here. And then let's use this as the mask, the mix amount, and plug this into the base color. So what I can do, let's make this like something I can see. Let's make it like pink. Okay, and I can take a ramp, put this here, and I can kind of adjust it so that we get more or less of a certain color. And then we put down another ramp here. And I want to go, let's just do like plasma. And let's put that into the input too. And no, it's not really what I want. So there's a few things I could do. I could do like a color correct, color correct. I can put that here and drop down another one here. And then just make this, just kind of change the hue. Maybe change the levels to 2, something like that. But basically I'm using a mask here to create a different color. So as they move faster, they're more blue. As they're like moving less fast, they're yellow. Okay, so that's basically it. It's pretty simple, and you can use this in a variety of ways. You could also, another way you could do this, instead of doing it this way, you could get rid of this ramp, put down a different ramp, change this to like Inferno, or yeah, let's just use Inferno for now. And then instead of using a color mix, we could use a color composite and take this guy, put it in here. And then the second ramp, put it in there. And then we can just like composite this color, this ramp right on top of this. So we could use like, let's do add. Let's see what that looks like. No, maybe overlay or multiply. Let's see, let's find a good one. Maybe I need to change this to grayscale by putting down that ramp. That'll help a little bit. Let's do screen. Overlay is way too dark. Average. Maybe something like that. Kind of adjust the knots here. There we go. Just kind of drag these down so you see a little more of the color. Yeah, maybe something like that. Cool. So that's pretty cool. I think I want these bananas to be maybe a little shinier. So let's go in here. Yeah, let's increase the roughness a little bit. Or just increase the custom gamma to make them just a little shinier. I kind of like that better. And then in our camera, go back out, we can just kind of set a depth of field here. So let's go like this, and then just click to focus like right here. And then I want to decrease the aperture to like 2. And then we'll need to adjust the exposure a bit. Yeah, something like that. So play around with that. It's the speed attribute's really fun for this. Let's see if I can get even more shallow. Something like that. Maybe that's too much. Let's see. So I like to animate. Oftentimes I like to animate my focus distance. So I'll start, a few frames back, like here. Let me refresh this. Maybe that's too far back. Like put it here, and then animate it, and then go to like the last or close to the last frame, and animate it to like farther out. So you have this sort of rolling focus. It makes it look really cool when you do that. But that is pretty much it. I mean, pulling in the speed attribute is really simple thing to do. All you need to do is just kind of like animate your camera linearly across this. So let me just go ahead and do that. So let's go back to here. Maybe I'll find a frame where it's already kind of started. So let's go like here, and let's grab this guy, just animate all 3 of those, go all the way to the end, and then just kind of, oh shit. Move it this way, and move it this way too. Oops. Just make sure we don't get to all the way to the edge, and then maybe move it down a bit too. And then just click that, shift click, hit H on the keyboard to center them all, and then just make this linear. And then you can kind of see what that looks like if we run a flip book from frame 73 to 240. Let's see. Okay, so here's the flip book. You can kind of see the camera speed there. I think that's about the right speed for the camera. Yeah, something like that. And then just kind of play around with your lighting to try and get it to make it look better. I think having some rim light would be nice. Let me go like here, and let's just see what that looks like. That's cool. I think maybe my dome light, maybe decrease the intensity a bit. And I can, I don't know, maybe have this be cooler on one side. Maybe even just turn off my dome light, see what that does. That's kind of nice. Let me go RS light, put down another one. Let's just move this off to this side. Sometimes it's better to just do things with a couple of area lights instead of, shit, come on. God damn it. do temperature, make it cold. Select 20, maybe 50. Yeah, I think that looks a little better, actually. Just more like a studio environment than trying to be realistic with an HDRI. Let's kind of move this up. Yeah, I think something like that kind of works. Feels a little better. Let me adjust my exposure a bit, maybe. Yeah, that's kind of cool. So make sure that when you render it, that all you have to do on the sim is make sure Redshift object, you go to render, and that you have the transformations, deformations, and instance particle blur on there. That way you'll get some motion blur on there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Play around with the colors, play around with the speed, play around with your lighting. Maybe use something that's not bananas, but this is just a fun tutorial on how to kind of take how I create some liquidy motion, but using RBDs and custom velocities and stuff to make a pretty fun looking animation using pretty simple techniques. So I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks. Something else, another little issue I found was, so if you choose instance level stop primitive, packed primitive here, and then you hit play on your little render view here, you'll notice that it's really strange that like what you're seeing in the viewport is not the same as what you're seeing in the render view. Like you see this little banana here that's like above the rest, clearly, that doesn't exist here. And it took me forever to figure out like what the hell is happening. So it's one little gotcha. You just need to click this ignore pivot point attribute, and then it does exactly what you want it to do. So just I realized that I made a mistake there and didn't really show how to do that. So make sure that you click that on, or else it's not going to work.